Hi art history students! Here's a typical Google search with a historical site. Of course, we have Wikipedia. Then we start to see some travel sites. Hotel.com, TripAdvisor, Lonely Planet, and TripSavvy.com. Sometimes you'll even pull up blogs, someone's personal narrative about their experience visiting the site. For research purposes, these kinds of sites aren't that helpful. Another challenge with Google searching is that you have to carefully evaluate each website you find. When using library resources, this vetting has already been done for you. Library resources have been published, so they have been reviewed by someone, like an editor or peers in the field. Then, we librarians vet the databases that contain these resources and pick only the best ones that we feel have real value. We pay a lot of money for these resources. I would recommend trying library resources. So this is the library's homepage, and the one search box allows you to search all of our databases at the same time. So I'm going to put in one of the topics, one of the sites. I would recommend limiting your search results to fully available online. We're pulling up entries in encyclopedias, reference sources. The first two. This one is a journal article. You can see a journal article about the site. This one looks like some kind of reference, some kind of book. Here's another journal article. So you're seeing you're getting a variety of different types of sources. Here's a news story about the emperor visiting the site. You get a variety of different sources. The reference sources, the encyclopedias, will often have just a small little bit of information on your site, similar to what you'll find on the internet. The journal articles, though, will be longer and have more in-depth information. So let's take a look at that. You can see here, this is a 26-page article from a scholarly journal in the field of art. This article is in a database called JSTOR, and you might all want to try out JSTOR with your site. I can't guarantee that there'll be an article about all your sites, but it's one quick simple search and you can double check. So let me show you how to get into JSTOR directly rather than through one search. I'm going to go back to the library's homepage and click on Databases this time. JSTOR is located under the category Arts. And you can just simply type in your site. I should mention that sometimes there are books in the list, and you'll see possibly a little cross-out mark, which means those are not available to read online. But the journal articles are available. So here's one about, I don't know, this one's from 1880. Okay, interesting. A little historical perspective, interesting. But this one, painted decorative motifs, that sort of seems in keeping with our class. And again, what you're getting is a 6-page article from a scholarly journal discussing the site. This is a way to get a deeper analysis, richer information than you might get from a simple Google search. I also wanted to remind you that because these resources were purchased by the library, you'll be asked to enter your MEID and your password when clicking on a database.